that I grew up in such poverty that that I had this need of getting out of there, because I grew up right after the Second World War, where there was no food. And my mother had to go from farm to beg for food, and my father to sell off everything he had. And so it was like miserable conditions. So it maybe is that. It maybe is that I just saw some enough information about America that I got such drive that I want to get there, that created the will to train for me, because I had to figure out, how can I get there? No one in Austria in those days were traveling to America. There was no money. I mean, it would have cost a fortune. So it is not like today. So I tried to figure out, how can I get to America? I was obsessed. Not to just come here and visit. That was never good enough. It was always to become part of America. And so I think when I then tapped into this bodybuilding, by total coincidence, I thought that that was the ticket to America. And so that's when I then put all my energy into that. When you're a competitive athlete, you learn very quickly how strong you are, or how energetic you are, all of those things. But it could very well be that there's a lot of people who have an equally as good a body as you have. It performs just as well. That is as muscular, let's say in bodybuilding, there's exactly the same kind of proportions in all of those things. So the question really is what puts you over the top? It is the mind that really creates the body. It's the mind that makes you really work out 4 or 5 hours a day. It is the mind that visualizes of what the body ought to look like as the finished product. The body is very important, but the mind is more important than the body. You have to visualize what that body ought to look like in order to make it win, because that's what creates then the will that you need to go to the gym every day, the will that makes you go into the forced reps, the will that makes you go beyond when you do 500-pound reps in the squats and you can't do another rep and your body is shaking. It's the will that makes you go one more time down and struggle up one more time. And so it's all of this, so the mental aspect that motivates you and that makes the difference between you being in the gym full of joy and looking forward to doing that extra rep and looking forward to doing those extra 100 reps in the sit-ups and working past the pain barriers. That all is the mind. That's not the body. So this is why I think the body is very important, but the mind is more important than the body.